whatever. Like in Penta Team, they were doing really good. And then, like, you know, like Cat Noir wasn't jealous. He, like, told her to call the team, right, in the last episode. And, like, now he good. He no jealous anymore. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Alia. I love her new outfit and everything. Like, she blends in with the Paris rooftops. It's so good. Oh, my God. This is so pretty. Wow. Okay, the animation budget, I see where it went now. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's kind of fucked up. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Oh, well, here we go again. Oh, this is cool. Ah, like, he can hear all of the emotions. That's crazy. Wait, what? Really? Training wheels kid is what we're going for here, Hawkmoth? What about Chloe and Lila? And I thought Felix would be important. Froggy? Oh, this kid's cute, though. This is so silly. It's kind of silly. For the finale? No, this has to be a fake out or something. Whee! Okay. He looks exactly the same. Damn. That's interesting, though. Okay, this kid can stay. Their design was basically the same, but anyway. Damn, we're just gonna throw Froggy in a bush? Oh, damn. Oh, no. This is kind of cool, though. I will say, this is pretty cool. I actually really, really like this. Oh, no. No. Oh, Plaid's not gonna notice that thing on his neck? Okay. Damn! You go, Adrien! Yeah! Yeah! Oh no! I love this though! Oh, Lila's there! Wait, but he lost all his nerve! What happened? What happened to the wrist? Okay. Damn! You go, Adrien! Jesus Christ! Uh-oh. Damn. Adrien looks so sad. He looks so sad! This is actually really interesting. Oh my god! Wait, has nobody realized there's a supervillain? I guess not. Like, Risk is kind of incognito. I think that that's so cool. Oh, they're both so sad. The invisible force called the writers. But this is nice, they're like relating to each other and stuff. Damn, bro. Oh. Oh. No! Oh, man. This would be the perfect time for Marinette to tell Adrien how she feels, bro. And they're cock-blocking her. I hate it here. Come on, Chloe. Are they trying to get Marinette akumatized? Yeah, you go, Marinette. Damn, bro. Oh, that's cute. Marinette doesn't even realize that things are like kind of a little weird right now. Felix! Yeah! Felix should go! Oh. Damn, I love this! Yay! Good job, Felix! Oh, this is so nice! I feel like there's some Senti-monster things happening. Is my theory true? Was I right all along? You guys doubted me, bro. I have so many comments of people doubting me on my Senti-monster video and on Reddit and a bunch of other places. If they are Senti-monsters, y'all can fucking... I deserve a lot. What if Gabriel tells Felix something Felix only knows, you know? Oh, damn. See, because what if Hawkmoth sees Felix, like Gabriel sees Felix and talks to Felix as if he's Felix, but Felix is Adrien? Oh, damn! What the fuck is that? Oh, damn! Oh my god! Okay, Felix, go off! Go off, Felix! Wait, but isn't that the fake thing that he left for... Yeah, but those aren't real. Uh-oh. And the bag! He's gonna see the bag! Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Felix is gonna find out everything, bro! Bro! Holy fuck! Guys! Oh my god! This is amazing! Oh, fuck! Shit! Senti-monster! Senti-monster! What about the spyglass? Uh-oh. Yeah! Oh! He doesn't have the ring and Natalie doesn't know! What? But he said yes, Natalie, because Natalie has the ring! Wait, but does that mean it's controlling Felix? That ring's controlling Felix? Wait, what? Or does it control both of them equally? Kagami? Oh, go Kagami! Kagami, go off! my god, imagine. Oh, fuck! Oh my god, no! The episode's over! Ah! All right, everybody, let us get into the discussion now. This one was so good, like, for so many reasons, but I guess we'll start at the beginning. So first of all, I really like how it seemed like that last episode, like, is it Penta Team or Pella Team? Anyway, like, the soccer episode seemed to really, like, connect to this one, because I feel like that we had good progression. Like in Catwalker, Adrien is super jealous of all the other superheroes, right? But then in the soccer episode, he actually tells Ladybug to go get them, right? He's suddenly not above admitting like his faults, or he's not like, oh yeah, like I can like do this, Ladybug, huh? Like he doesn't put on a fake front. He actually asks her to go get all the superheroes. And so this episode really completes that, where Adrien is not like jealous of them anymore. Like he has a little bit of like, I'm just like everyone else, I'm a little sad about it still, but he's not like actively jealous, and now he's actually included. So I feel like that was really good. I just feel like that it kind of fulfilled Adrien's character arc, at least on that front. And they have more of like an honest conversation here, which I think is really nice as well, right? Like I know only the Guardian knows, right? How do you say, he's accepting it, right? He's accepting why he can't know, and he seems to be a little sad about it, but he's sort of okay with it after this, right? Yep, but you'll always be my favorite. And I just thought that this was really, really cute. I thought that that was nice, especially because like Ladybug now has seen the effect it's taken on him, and now she's making sure that he knows how she really feels, that she appreciates him, you know? And so I feel like that they just have better communication, and that like having the Catwalker episode, the soccer episode, and then this one, it had really, really nice progression, and I really, really liked that. And you can see that now he's like, yeah, okay, like everything's fine, and I just thought that that was really, really cute. Also, seeing Rena Furtive again, like that was like really nice. I just love her design so much, and this made me like remember how much I love her. And I think that she's supposed to blend in with the rooftops of Paris. I think that that's kind of the idea, especially because a lot of like the roofs are blue, right? So I think that that was sort of the idea, and I love this. Like, oh my god, we're actually gonna be able to see a movie for once. Like we had a nice little like slice of life thing there. This scene was just beautiful. Like this is where the animation budget went, okay? You guys probably haven't seen this yet just because of how I'm uploading, but I did watch Calxiyn, and I did watch Psychomedian, and Quillin's animation was probably the absolute worst in the series. I will post that, but like priorities, you know, this is sort of the priority, I would say. And so yeah, I will post that, but yeah, like Quillin's animation was fucking awful. It was horrible. And so yeah, this like beautiful, stunning. I love Gabriel's little breakdown here. You know what I mean? Because you feel bad for him, or at least I did when I was watching it, right? Like, cause he's bad. Like Gabriel is evil, but there's part of you that also can't help but feel bad for him to a certain extent. Like he thinks that this is like a personal failure on him, and that he's not worthy of Emilie if he can't save her. That's a really interesting look in Gabriel's character, and I feel like it just makes him more sympathetic. And I really like this plan. I think that this was really, really interesting, but you can see that Natalie is just sort of like, oh man, not again, bro. Like, oh, here we go again. There's some plan. And I think this was super cool, because I don't know if we've seen this before, but we actually see like Hawkmoth vision. Like when he's using his powers, he can hear everybody's sadness, and I love how they just like manifested that. We also see like Mr. Pigeon is in there. I'm so glad it wasn't Mr. Pigeon. And at first, at the beginning of this episode, I was like, really? This is the character for the finale? Like this kid? But now I actually like understand why this is Galaxy Brain. Like, first of all, my first complaint was, oh, but the kid looks exactly the same. You know what I mean? Not a lot changed. But I actually think that's the point. The point is that this kid is incognito. Everyone thinks it's just like some weird kid on a bicycle singing to himself, right? Like that was the whole point. And so I thought that was so smart, because that was my like complaint, I guess, at first, is I was like, really? Like this is like the ultimate plan, is some kid who just wants to ride his bike without a helmet? Really? Okay. But like actually it's pretty smart, you know? And now like there's this kid and nobody actually knows that somebody in the city's akumatized, and I think that's great. I also love the scene with Adrien. He's looking forward to breakfast with his father. Why do you do this to him, Gabriel? See, the thing is, I don't understand how this is part of Gabriel's plan, or whether it is or not. I feel like that it might not be. I don't know. It's hard to explain. On one hand, I think that this could be Gabriel trying to, like, get Adrien out of the city, especially because there's, like, danger. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks that, like, he's finally, like, gonna win. He can make sure that Adrien's safe, and all he has to worry about is getting those Miraculouses, and then when Adrien comes home, Emilie will be there, and it can be, like, a whole thing. Like, maybe that was why he's doing it. It is kind of part of his plan. The other reason is that he's kind of thinking of, like, eternal love and stuff, so maybe he just got, like, in an inspirational mood. Like, maybe this is genuinely Gabriel's creative side. Because, like, Gabriel is still a fashion designer, right? And so I won't say that it's entirely part of his plan. It may have just legitimately been, like, creative inspiration or something. Like, you know, I feel like it could also be both, right? He could definitely be both at the same time, is that he wants to make sure that Adrien's not in Paris when all of this happens, right? And so that could be, like, the whole thing. And I love this. Like, I love that we see this, and I love that Marinette now knows this, because I feel like that's really, really good, but we'll talk about that after. I just think that this was so good. It's so good to see, like, that true Adrien, like, come out, you know? And I just thought that that was really great. And I can't wait to talk about, like, what he says to Marinette and everything, but we'll keep going through this first. So he barges in, right? And then something interesting happens, is that he loses all of the nerve that Risk gave him. And so it seems like that Risk is also kind of temporary to an extent, or maybe it's just temporary because there's some weird Senti-monster stuff going on. It's temporary in this case. So let's talk about that, because we might as well. I'm totally fucking right about the Senti-monster thing. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's not confirmed yet, but, like, I feel like that we're getting somewhere, at least, where there's a Senti-monster. Somebody is a Senti-monster, okay? And so I'm not gonna say it yet, because I feel like that, like, you know, then I'll take an L if it's not true, if I, like, get cocky and act like it's true. But, like, so many people gave me shit on, like, Reddit and, like, on the video I posted about the Senti-monster theory, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I was, like, one of the first people to do it. Like, not the first, obviously. People have had this theory for, you know, a minute, but, like, I think my video's like 3 years old. Like, it's one of the earlier videos compared to the ones that are posted now. And, like, people gave me so much shit. They were like, a Senti-monster can't have a Miraculous. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, obviously now we know Senti-monsters can, because of the scene with Nino. It's just like people invented evidence that did not exist, and it made me very, like, angry. Like, that's the only time I'll ever get mad, is I don't mind when people disagree with me. But what I do mind is when people pull evidence out of their ass to disagree with me. Like, there's nothing in this show that said that a Senti-monster cannot use a Miraculous, but that's what people said, as if it was canon, but it wasn't, right? And, like, I just hate that. I just hate when people are like, I am going to invent something that the show has never said before to prove you wrong. Like, the show kept that vague on purpose. Clearly, because Senti-monster can use Miraculous, as we know from this season. And so, yeah, that's just a big pet peeve of mine. I just really don't like that. Like, if you're gonna debunk the theory with things that actually have been stated in the show. Don't, like, make up a headcanon about Senti-monsters not being able to use the Miraculous, but I digress. It wasn't just that, like, there were a lot of other things that just really bothered me, so if I'm right, I will be very vindicated. But, like, what else could this all be? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's, like, a different power, and it's not, like, Senti-monster power, but it's a different Miraculous. But, like, no Miraculous we've ever seen has worked this way, right? Because something I was thinking, and something that we'll get to, is that it's weird how when Natalie has the ring, Felix backs down, even though Felix is not Adrien, and I have an idea about that. But you could also say that maybe that it's not that they're Senti-monsters, but that the ring has some sort of, like, persuasive quality to it. But no Miraculous we know of currently works like that. You know what I mean? Like, usually a Miraculous needs to be, like, activated, right? Like, you need, how do you say? A Miraculous needs to be activated. Like, you can't use the power of a Miraculous without using the power. Like, it can't just be something all the time. But this seems to function more like a magical object. Like, if it's not Senti-monster stuff and it's, like, a magical object, I would say that it's something that was created maybe from a Miraculous that has the power of persuasion, that it's not a Miraculous, because that's not how Miraculouses work as far as we've seen in the show, right? As far as we've seen, too, I guess it could be a Miraculous, right? But, like, usually to use something like Lucky Charm, Ladybug needs to be transformed, she has to say the words, right? But it seems like this ring works in a passive sense, where if if you use it, you don't need to be transformed and you don't need to say any words. And that would make it, I think, more a magical object than like a miraculous superpower, right? So maybe it was created by a miraculous superpower, like, you know what I mean? Maybe it was created by the same like Capricorn type thing that like the Capricorn Miraculous can do, where it can make something. But yeah, I don't know. So that's basically what we got, is it's either Senti-monster stuff or the ring has like the power of persuasion. But if that's true, if the ring has the power of persuasion, I would say that that may be a problem though, because then Hawkmoth in like earlier seasons when he's actually beside Ladybug and Cat Noir could have used the ring of persuasion to like tell them, you know, persuade them to give up their miraculous. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Senti-monster. But yeah, that's the only thing, and I'll talk about it because I have an idea of what's going on with that, and I'll talk about it. But that's the only thing that I'm a little like, because how can it control Felix and Adrien even though it's the same object? But I have a theory, okay? So like, hold on, I still have a theory. Also, I like this rebellion line just because like France, you know, like if you guys know the history of France, right? And so yeah, this ad campaign was sort of interesting. I wonder if this is also like, I don't know, foreshadowing or something. Like not foreshadowing, but maybe this is like based off of how Gabriel and Emilie met, because you have this thing with the London clock tower, and we know that Emilie's family seems to be from London just because that's where Felix lives. And then you have this other area, which I'm not sure what that would be, but maybe Paris. And so maybe this is like Emilie's love story with Gabriel, and that's why he made the ad campaign, and like it's a whole thing, you know what I mean? And so maybe like also there's like that trip that they took 10 years ago, because that's something in the Shanghai special, right? I haven't even seen it yet, but I do know of this, that Gabriel says like, I came here to finish what I started 10 years ago or something, right? Like, you know, something like that. And so yeah, like I wonder how all of this, maybe it's like connected in some way, but I like seeing Adrien like kind of rebel against his father for like 5 minutes, right? For like 5 seconds, but anyway. And then they'll meld into perfume. So this is interesting. 2 souls, 1 mind, 1 heart, right? Because obviously this is like romantic. This is the perfume, right? I guess I'll just fucking say it now. I may as well say it now. I was gonna wait like for the whole like Felix conversation and stuff, like where Felix like gets, how do you say? Felix seems to be controlled by Natalie, but here's basically what I'm thinking, okay? Here's the thing. I think that they're both Senti-monsters. That's not the crazy part, okay? I think that they are twins, because obviously we have the twin rings, but I don't think that it's like 1 ring per twin. I think it's just the rings. And so let me explain what that means. That means that even though we thought that it was 1 ring per child, you know what I mean? The ring can actually control Adrien and Felix, because biologically or Senti-monster logically they are the same. Do you guys understand what I mean? Gabriel, I don't know how he fucking knows this, by the way, but Gabriel maybe knows that Adrien and Felix are the same Senti-monster, and so they can be controlled by the same object. Does that make sense? It's not that they're literally the same, but they're more like 2 Senti-monsters spawned from a single object in the twin rings. And so either ring can control either Felix or Adrien. That's what I think is happening here, basically. Because I mean, and that's the thing with Adrien and Felix, they look the same. They look like twins. In theory, right? You know what I mean? Like if they were biologically twins, like in the real world, they'd be biologically like DNA-wise the same, right? Like, you know what I mean? And so I think here, they're magically the same, and so they can be controlled by the same object, because the object, it's 1 object, the twin rings applies to either one of them somehow. And I also think that we may be getting into some like yin-yang symbolism, but with Adrien and Felix, in the sense that like Felix is the rebellious one. He's sort of like, you know, the bad boy one. He's kind of mean-spirited, to be perfectly honest. And then Adrien's like the pure one, the soft one, the nice one, right? Like, I don't want to say good and evil twin, but I think that like it's kind of like that Adrien and Felix are two halves of the same person. Has anybody played Kingdom Hearts? It's like Vanitas and Ventus, okay? Vanitas is the bad part of Ventus, and Ventus is left to be all good and sunshine and rainbow type thing. And so that's what I actually think is happening, is that Adrien and Felix are twin Senti-monsters, and that's why either one of them can be controlled by the ring. Now, does Gabriel know this? Because I don't know if this would cause the episode Felix to be called into question, but maybe he doesn't know it. Like, maybe he doesn't know that Felix is also manipulated by the ring. So yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. But let's talk about that when we get there. I like kind of like the scene with Marinette, and like, Marinette, you watched this 22 times already. I thought that it was funny. I thought that was good. And yeah, you just see how like sad Adrien is, and Marinette notices, right? Adrien doesn't look happy, and I'm the only one that sees it, and I thought that was really, really good. I don't like how Alia acts in this episode, actually. I don't know if I should bring this up now, but I think she acts very out of character, to be honest. I think that she acts I don't know. She acts very contrived because, like, she has trusted Marinette with so much, and Marinette has trusted Alia with so much, that the fact that Alia still believes Lila and, like, all of that shit, like, it just bothers me. It just really, really bothers me after everything that they've been through, that, like, because I understand the rest of the class believing Lila, because that was never really addressed, but after everything, like, Alia still believes in, like, all of Lila's bullshit. Like, it just bothers me. But anyway, so I really like how Risk plays out in this episode, because it plays out as, like, a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. Like, Risk can be good. They can make you, like, do what you want to do and stand up for yourself, and then sometimes they can be bad, you know? And so I like how they do that. And I just love this conversation between them, because now, like, Marinette gets to see the real side of Adrien. And she doesn't reject it, which I feel like is super important, because that's something that we've been talking about in previous seasons, right? And like previous episode discussions as well, is that like, oh, like what if Marinette like sees the Cat Noir side of Adrien, right? That's how we've been saying it, but obviously the whole point of like Catwalker was that there are no sides in it. It's a whole thing. But anyway, like we've always sort of thought like, wait, but what if Marinette sees like the true side of Adrien and she doesn't accept it? But here she actually does accept it. And that actually surprised me a lot, because like she accepts that he may not be the perfect boy model that she thought that that he was, but she's okay with that because she just wants him to be happy. And so I think that this actually shows that Marinette's love has gone beyond like a superficial quality, that it is actually true. Right? Because that's a criticism I've seen a lot. It's like, oh, Marinette doesn't truly care about Adrien. Like, if she knew, like, who he really was, she wouldn't love him. But, like, she saw this and still loved him anyway. And so I feel like that's a point in Marinette's favor, that it has gone past superficial love. Right? Because, like, he is telling her the truth, and she is fully supporting him, and I feel like that's great, and that also fits in with my theory, because I have this theory that Adrien would, like, kind of snap, and that Marinette would be the only one that understands him, and then he knows that Marinette, like, can understand him, and, like, that Marinette will always support him, and then ship, like, heart, 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 kiss, 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 right? Like, that was my whole theory. I didn't expect it to happen this way, but, like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take the point. Like, that was my whole thing, is I thought that Adrien would snap, that he would, you know, go to Marinette, like, he would run to Marinette upset, and then, like, tell Marinette everything that was going on. And that can still happen next episode, too, because, like, we're not done, and so that's still possible. Like, imagine if Adrien goes to Marinette and is like just like spills all of the beans, you know, like that could actually still happen. Like, Felix tricked me and my father doesn't listen to me and I'm Cat Noir, and you know, like that can still happen, like that theory that I had from back then. But yeah, I just love this scene. I hate Lila and Chloe in this episode. I mean, that's kind of like self-explanatory, but I love how Marinette like encourages him to go talk to his father, and it's great. And like, see, this is where the Senti-monster thing's coming back. This is so sus. It's so sus. But he says, have you ever wanted to try to say something but just couldn't? Like some kind of invisible force was holding you back, and I'm like, there's some Senti-monster stuff, and then Kagami makes a reference to Pinocchio, like it's definitely happening. But I love how like they're starting to like relate to each other and understand each other, and now Adrien knows that he can trust Marinette, which is kind of why I feel like that my theory about him revealing he's Cat Noir to her and like, Marinette, I'm so sad, my father won't let me do what I want, and I can't tell him that I can't leave Paris because I'm Cat Noir, and like, it could be a whole thing, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the next episode, we still could get like a one-sided reveal like I have been theorizing all season, and I would be very happy. It would make me happy. And yeah, so then Lila, she interrupts and everything, but I just love, like, you know, he knows that Marinette will always support him, and it's nice and cute. And then Chloe gets involved. I have this theory because of, like, Team. You know, I don't know if I got that video out before this one, but like I had a theory that Chloe would be involved. I thought they'd be a bit more involved than this though. To be honest, I didn't think that they'd just be involved as in like sabotaging Marinette. I thought they'd be a little bit more involved in that, but like, okay, go off, I guess, you know, whatever. I thought that it would be a bit more, but like there's still next episode too, so maybe there will be some Chloe and Lila supervillain situation things. I don't know. Or maybe that could be like a next season setup. I'm not sure. But yeah, and so Chloe, she's looking real mean and angry, and I love this. I love, like, Marinette's plan here. I love the potato. I love Alia being the juice box and the juice box having glasses. I love Rose as a strawberry. That one wasn't as creative, but like, and then Nino is like this because he has a little hat. Like, it was so creative. It was just like a nice little touch, right? And so, yeah, like, Nino, fine, okay, I get it. Like, you know that Adrien's never been allowed outside of his house and you think that this is a great opportunity, right? Like, but like, I don't know. Like, the others, fine. But like, really? Alia, you're not gonna believe, you saw Marinette and Adrien having a conversation. You put them in the dodgeball dungeon, right? So that just bothers me. Like, I think Alia is like a little out of character. I also love the spinning camera in this shot, by the way. Everyone wants to be a model, see? And so it's like, nobody understands, like nobody else understands. And I'm like, well, Nino, right? Maybe he would have told you, but since you hate Cat Noir and hate that side of Adrien, he didn't, right? But anyway. And so, yeah, it just makes me really angry how, like, Alia kind of sees Marinette as, like, controlling his life and, like, doesn't believe her, even though you're the one who encouraged the conversation, sis. You're the one who encouraged the dodgeball conversation. It makes me mad. Anyway, it just makes me mad. I don't like Alia being out of character. They didn't need to do this, right? Like, they didn't need to make Alia the bad guy in this situation. I don't know why they did. Like, I don't know why they decided to do it like this. I don't know. I just feel like it could have been, you could have had it be Nino or something. And then Alia could have been like, Nino, don't be so hard on her. But like, you know, Nino's right, Marinette. You gotta let him go. Like, Alia could have been a bit more passive in that conversation and it would have made a bit more sense. Now, let's talk about Felix. Oh my god, I love this man. No choice but to stan. Okay, so here's the thing. At first I thought that Felix was genuinely doing this out of the goodness of his heart. But now I'm sort of getting like a couple different vibes, okay? I feel like that he used this as an excuse because he wanted to break back into the house and snoop, number one. I feel like that's one. Second, he does think that he took the peacock and the butterfly miraculous. And so I wonder if like Felix has some like super villain, how do you say, like motivation or like, not ideals. But how would you say this? Aspirations. Felix wants a supervillain career. I don't know. And so, yeah, I feel like, because at first I thought Felix was genuinely being nice, and I guess he kind of tricked me too, because I did. I thought that he was being nice, but then he also wanted to snoop, but he wanted to snoop to, like, bring Hawkmoth to justice sort of thing. Like, that's how I was thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, like, oh, like, Felix is here. He's trying to, like, get proof to expose Gabriel so, like, they can take down Hawkmoth and, like, it'll be a whole thing and Felix will get the credit. And that's all, that's what I thought Felix wanted, was the credit and the satisfaction of getting revenge against his uncle. So it wasn't necessarily that I thought Felix was being, like, good, but I thought that Felix was acting like, you know, to take down Gabriel, basically. But now I actually think that he wanted the miraculouses for himself because he takes them, right? And so I feel like he just wanted them. And so I don't know. I think that that's kind of funny and, like, interesting and fascinating. But yeah, I mean, he also sees, like, how sad, right, like Adrien looks in this picture, and Tiki says to Marinette, like, you can only see it because you love him. And so I took that to mean that Felix loves Adrien too. Maybe like deep down. It's deep down, guys, but like maybe. Anyway. And so, yeah, I think that this is just a plan of convenience. You know, he wanted to snoop around the house and like all that stuff. And so I thought that that was good. Freedom is something you make, for starters. I really like that. You gotta stop doing what your father tells you to do. And I feel like there's some like, I feel like Felix knows more, especially with the like, from a snap of my finger, I can get rid of you thing. Like, I thought that that was like, that may have given him ideas, you know? And so, see, he says you can't, but I can. And I'm like, but you don't. You listen to Natalie later. And that's why I'm sort of thinking that, again, they're like one soul split into two Senti-monster bodies, if that makes sense. Or like, they're two souls, but one like heart split into Senti-monster bodies. And that Felix is kind of like, again, that Cat Noir, like chaotic, like side. You know what I mean? Like, Felix is what Cat Noir would be like if Cat Noir was like maniacal and left unchecked, and then Adrien is like a pure cinnamon roll, but then like the Cat Miraculous was able to change the course of Adrien's life and let him develop more of a personality. So yeah, I think we're getting into like good twin, evil twin type thing, but I basically think that they're the same like core of a Senti-monster in two people, right? That's sort of how I'm feeling right now. But yeah, and so he does try. He does try to say no to Gabriel, and he does try to go against him, which I think is interesting because he still is helping Adrien in a way, right? Or maybe your fear keeps you from seeing a hidden side of him. And I'm like, Felix, why don't you just fucking tell him, you know? Like, Felix is trying to be all, oh, like, maybe you'll see a hidden side. Because he's basically saying, like, you don't know your dad is Hawkmoth. But, like, you could have said that, Felix. You could have just told him. Anyway, I think that this scene was just really, really good. I thought that that was great. I love seeing like Adrien and like Felix, his clothes and everything. And I just thought this plan was really, really smart. I love that Felix stole the iPad. I thought that that was good too. But it seems like Gabriel is like immediately fucking suspicious. I don't know. Something sus is happening with this bro. But yeah. And so then Felix basically like goes upstairs and everything. So the weird part is though, I have to tell Natalie one last thing before I go, wait outside. And like he almost obeys, but then he changes course and goes upstairs, right? And so I'm like, that could be just because he didn't twist the ring. And so like, because we've seen Adrien do that before. You know what I mean? Like we've seen Adrien be like, oh, well, Cat Noir was told to go out, or Cat Noir's not grounded, like, I may be, but Cat Noir's not, like, loopholes, and so maybe, like, Felix's loophole is like, well, he told Adrien to go wait outside, so I'm not gonna wait outside. And then we do see Adrien waiting outside on a park bench. He's not waiting outside, like, you know, the car, but he is waiting outside, so I wonder, like, I don't know, I feel like that it was interesting that he, like, resisted that. But anyway, and so then obviously we see him like, he just has so many gadgets, like he was just so fucking prepared, like he's so smart, like I love him, because he's just like so like maniacal and like conniving and it's great. But yeah, like he steals the Miraculouses, so I feel like that maybe he wants them for himself, right? But yeah, and so he says, right, Gabriel says, I'm entrusting you with my son, like, by giving you the rings. And so I feel like that that's also confirmation of, like, the Senti-monster thing. But Felix now knows that Emily's in the basement. Like, Felix knows so much. Felix knows so fucking much that he's, like, a liability at this point. Oh, my God. I love the expression on his face, too. And so, yeah, he says, I'm trusting you with my wife's ring and my son, right? Like, he's trusting Natalie with Adrien, like, literally, because now Natalie has the object that controls the Senti-monster, right? Like, that would be the whole thing, and now Adrien's found that thing on the floor, which I think is great. I hope Adrien gets the chance to use it, because, like, the whole thing is that now, like, there's a super villain outside, so we may not be able to, but yeah. And so he does keep his promise. You know, he does try to, like, rebel. And I love this. I love, like, angry eyebrow. Like, I don't want to go on this trip. And so then he realizes, right? I'm your father and I'm telling you. And he sees that he's unwavering, right? And so then he goes for the ring and he tries to twist it, but it doesn't work because he doesn't have it. But see, what's weird is that Natalie says, right? Natalie says, Adrien, it's time to go. And he snaps out of it. And just says, yes, Natalie, which is the weird part, right? Because, like, the ring shouldn't be able to control Felix. And so either one of two things happened. It's a fake out, And Felix is just agreeing because he wants to go, like, you know what I mean? Because he wants to escape with the Miraculouses before Hawkmoth notices, right? He just pretended. He was like, okay, well, you know, I tried to rebel for you, Adrien, but I don't actually care about rebelling for you. That's not why I'm here, right? Like, you could, you know, think of it that way, right? Is that Felix wasn't actually controlled, but he just gave up because he was like, okay, well, whatever. I got what I want. Fuck you, Adrien. You'll figure that out, you know? Like, he could have seen it like that, or it could be he was actually controlled, which would call some things into question, you know? Which would make things very interesting because that means that the ring that controls Adrien can also be used to control Felix, which we kind of knew because, like, Hawkmoth, or I guess Gabriel, was like, I can, like, snap you out of existence, you know? That's basically what he said, right? And so, yeah, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I think that, like, he's controlled by the same ring that Adrien's controlled by, and that's pretty fucked up. But yeah. And so I love this. I love Kagami taking the risk to call Adrien and tell her what she really thinks. How long are you gonna remain his puppet? Yeah, guys, like, that's total Senti-monster stuff. Unless this is a big, like, red flag, or, like, what do you call it? Like, a big fake out? What do you call it? It's like when something, a red herring, unless this is a red herring, guys, like, bro, like, we're going there. At least I think so. And I love Kagami telling him what's what. I think that's hilarious. Who's pulling the strings? Your cousin? Your father? Because that's, like, true, right? Like, Felix is also, like, pulling some strings. But yeah, so it's like the whole puppet thing is like Senti-monster thing, you know? It's never you. You just take orders. The only thing you're good at doing is what people tell you to do. Yeah, exactly. Like, that whole thing. And I'm like, bro, that's so Senti-monster, like, esque, you know what I mean? Because we see that Adrien can think for himself, but it seems like that, like, when it comes to, like, his father, he can't. When other times he does rebel. I love how she also says, forgive me if I hurt you. You know, I just ripped you a new one, but forgive me, though. But yeah, and so I love this, though. I love how he, like, gets the resolve. He puts his hair back to Adrien. I need to take my own rightful place. I think that that's really, really good. I do wonder if, like, there's so much potential for Gabriel to think that this is just Felix pretending to be Adrien and telling him something, like, that he'll regret. Or, like, telling him something that he didn't mean to. Like, for example, let's just pretend. Wouldn't it be crazy if, like, Adrien, like, goes back to the house and is like, you know, father, like, I've had enough. Like, I'm telling you what's what. And then what if, like, Gabriel is like, don't you remember what I told you before I could snap you out of existence just like that? And, like, Adrien's like, what? You know what I mean? Adrien's like, I don't remember this. I know that he's on the roof right now. Like, Shadow Moth is, like, on the roof and stuff. But I'm saying, like, after the villain is, like, defeated and resolved. Or imagine, could you imagine, this would be crazy. Imagine that Gabriel decides to snap Felix out of existence, but then it's actually Adrien the entire time. Wouldn't that be so fucked up? And then, like, you know, he would lose his wife and his son, and that'd be nutty. And that fits in with the whole theory I had that Adrien will die, and then, like, a wish will be made, and it's, like, the whole equivalent exchange thing. So I just think that that's a crazy thing to think about, right? But yeah. And so I kind of had that theory before that Adrien would die somehow, whether it's because he was the price in the exchange if Gabriel wishes for Emilie to be alive again, or, like, that's a cool way that he could die. Not a cool way, not cool, but, like, that's an interesting thing that could happen, right? And so, yeah. And so I do wonder if Felix, just because he has this little, like, conniving expression on his face, so maybe, like, he didn't actually get controlled by Natalie wearing the ring. Maybe he just wanted all of this to happen. Like, he wants to take the train because London is going to be the first destination. He can just go to London, go home, and, you know, do evil Felix things, right? Like, basically, right? And so, yeah, maybe he wasn't controlled by the ring. That was just, like, a red herring or something. But I think that Adrien's a Senti-monster. I don't care. I also love this scene because Felix must be like, what the fuck? What the fuck does this mean? And I wonder if we'll ever tell Adrien about this. Also, Natalie, who is my Yura, right? Like, she's watching all this too. And I just wonder, like, if she's gonna put something together or 2 and 2 together or something. Like, I feel like that Natalie having this information is so dangerous. But then Felix has it, and then Adrien will probably never know that, like, Marinette said any of this, which is, like, it feels bad, man, you know? But yeah, I just love this conversation, and I love how he says, unlike you, I'm not a superhero, because he totally stole, like, unlike you, I'm not a superhero, I'm a supervillain, because he totally stole, like, or at least he thinks that he stole the Miraculouses, right? And so yeah, I just thought that this was really great too. At first I was like, oh my god, these stupid tourists, but then I realized that it's probably because he has, like, the risk thing on his neck like everybody else, but, like, I liked it better when I thought that someone legitimately wanted a selfie with the Senti-monster. And so I wonder if Marinette will actually do this or not. You know, like, go get him, because I think that would actually be very interesting if she does do that. Like, if she brings back Felix, because I feel like that would be, Felix, like, no. I feel like that would be really crazy, because then, like, Felix would be like, what the fuck is happening? So I think that I want to see that. I want to see her bring back Felix and stuff. And I do wonder, like, what if she gives Felix a Miraculous thinking that it's Adrien? Like, that'd be so fucked up. Imagine. But, like, Felix, can't you just tell Ladybug that Gabriel is Hawkmoth, right? Like, what if Felix realizes that the Miraculouses don't work, and so he just tells her? That would be nice. It would be nice. It'd be nice. But anyway, I really like this too. And so yeah, then Adrien finds Felix's thing on the floor, which I think is really, really good. But then he hears the fudding of the Senti-monster, and so we're not getting anywhere. And that's the end of this episode. So I feel like it's probably a good idea to talk about theories now, right? Like, we've been through everything. Let's talk about some theories, okay? I definitely think that we're gonna do, like, a superhero roundup situation, especially just because, like, they made a point in introducing the last 4 heroes that would get the Miraculous in the soccer episode. So I think that that's kind of important, you know? Like, I feel like that's a thing that I feel like we're gonna have all the superheroes. But I think it would be hilarious if, like, Marinette goes to get Adrien, but then it's Felix, and so, like, since they're doing superhero roundup time, she gives Adrien a Miraculous, but it's actually Felix, and Felix has a Miraculous, and it's all, like, fucked up, and it's so bad, it's a bad thing, right? So I feel like that could be possible. I feel like that Gabriel accidentally snapping out Adrien out of existence because he thinks that it's Felix would be very funny. Like, you know what I mean? Not funny. It'd be very sad if Adrien died, but they would bring him back. Like, it's okay. But, like, imagine that. Imagine that we get this scene where it's like, you can't fool me, Felix. You may be pretending to be Adrien, but I know you're Felix, and I'm gonna, you know, but he doesn't have the ring anymore, so how would he do that? Would he do that with the Shadow Moth power, like with the Senti-monster power stuff? I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that would be interesting. I don't know. Like, I have this whole thing that there would be a one-sided confession at the end of the season, and I feel like that we could be getting towards that. Like, what if Adrien starts looking for Marinette because he's having, like, his mental breakdown? He's like, my cousin tricked me, and my dad won't listen to me, Cat Noir. You know, I feel like that could be possible. I'm, like, voting for one-sided reveal for sure. Or, like, what if he has to be like, that's not Adrien, that's an imposter, and then, like, you know, Marinette's like, or Ladybug is like, well, how do you know? You know, like, and it's a whole thing, and he has to reveal his identity to make sure that, like, Ladybug knows that, like, Felix is not him and stuff. Like, it could be a whole thing, you know? And so I just think that there's so much potential with this Felix Adrien idea. I just love it. I just love it so much. I'm so happy. I think that this is gonna be great. This is gonna be amazing. Like, the finale, there's just so much potential. I would also love it if Felix became, like, a reoccurring character more often than this, because he's just so smart and so cool. And yeah, that's basically all I'm thinking. I don't think that we're far enough for Hawkmoth to actually make a wish, because I have this whole theory that Hawkmoth would make the wish, and then by law of equivalent exchange, Emilie would be brought back to life, but Adrien would die, and season 5 would be trying to get Adrien back. I don't actually think that there's build-up for that to happen in, like, the next episode. I just don't think that there is. I feel like that it would be more realistic for a snap to happen somehow. Like, you know what I mean? For, like, Felix or Adrien to get snapped. or like for something else to happen, for a different kind of reveal to happen. Like, again, the one-sided reveal where Adrien reveals to Marinette, right? Because he thinks that he can trust Marinette now and that Marinette perfectly understands him. He reveals to Marinette that he's Cat Noir, and that's like, oh no, that's a thing. Or like maybe Felix will finally fucking tell someone who the bad guys are, and then season 5 will be Ladybug actually knowing that Gabriel is Hawkmoth and trying to like catch him. Maybe he's a fugitive on the run, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, those are basically all the theories I've had. We've talked about the Senti-monster thing, so I think we're good. I think we're good for tomorrow, guys, or like whenever. I don't know when this video is gonna come out, so I think we're good to proceed to the next episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little analysis and talky talk for this episode and my reaction, of course. Thank you for attending Calxyn's Royal Court today, and I will see everybody in the next one. Bye!